What's going on, guys and girls? It's GhostRobo, and the Division 2 was just announced out of nowhere. I think we all expected for it to come at some point. I don't think any of us expected it to be unveiled today. Basically, the Division 2 is a thing, and we'll get a whole lot more info, details, video, and gameplay at E3, which is now just 3 months away. My goodness, how fast time flies. But the game is being worked on by Massive Entertainment once again in conjunction with Ubisoft Annecy, Reflections, Red Storm, Ubisoft Bucharest, and Ubisoft Shanghai. So a big team effort, and the creative director of Massive Entertainment, Julian Geraghty, said that it was a tough decision, but they are super freaking pumped to bring a brand new Division to the world. They've learned a lot over the last 2 years, and they're ready for action. No indication whether this game will hit in 2018 or in 2019, though I expect it to fall in either late 2018 or early 2019 based on how these announcements typically go as of late. If you would have asked me, Ghost, are you excited for a possible Division 2? I probably would have said nah, because the Division 1, while interesting, wasn't really my thing. But now that the game is officially happening, I find myself pretty darn hopeful, because I think the foundations and the groundwork laid in the Division 1 are pretty strong and have the potential to lead to a really, really cool sequel. Because the general idea of a Destiny-style shooter in a modern city with those dark zone multiplayer elements, very promising. And you have to admit that Ubisoft is probably one of, if not the best in the business, at upgrading their games from number 1 to number 2. We've seen it with Assassin's Creed, we've seen it with Watch Dogs, hopefully we see it with the Division. Are you guys excited for the Division 2? Do you think that they can upgrade this game to a place where it not only sells a ton, but retains a ton? I think a lot of people still, in general, enjoyed the Division 1, but there definitely is plenty more they can do, and I think part of it is really nailing down those shooting mechanics and making sure that the loop of shooting and looting is very fun. And I think you have to get a little craftier and a little crazier with the guns and with what you can unlock. There were very cool accessories. Some of the tools were interesting and exciting, but the weapons and the main stuff that you were grinding to get, I found completely dull. So I hope that they really up the ante there, even if it means getting a little futuristic, getting a little crazy. I'm fine with that. I just want there to be more fun and excitement when I do unlock something, when I do progress, and when I do beat a really tough mission. I want to get something that is representative of what I just accomplished. Now, I hope they also expand upon the variety of environments, the variety of missions, and I think you really could make a super cool game. I think that genre has not been fully tapped. You know, Destiny 2, super strong campaign. Endgame has been criticized and kind of dropped by fans, it feels like, except for the hardcore, of course. You've got Anthem, which BioWare and EA pushed to 2019. They really need to hit a home run on that after Mass Effect Andromeda, but that game looks super cool. And now the Division 2, so you have 2 more attempts at this Destiny-style console game, and I think there is a lot of room for growth. I don't think that we have reached the maximum or even set the bar so much for these games. I mean, Destiny definitely set a bar, and I think it's a great franchise, and I had, like I said, a lot more fun with 2 than 1, but I feel like we're still really climbing the steps of what that could be. And I think that the reception and the response to long-term Destiny 2 says, like, hey, we're open to other games trying this and doing it better. Now, if the Division 2 is able to release before Anthem, they will get what seems to be the next crack at it, and I think that could be super cool, especially if they are able to make the upgrades and make the improvements and really double down on the strong points of Division 1, which again would be the framework that we discussed previously, and add quite a bit. Do you guys think they can do that? And do you think this game will hit fall 2018? Could it be one of Ubisoft's tentpole titles for later this year? If they move it into 2019, or if it is already in 2019, and you've got it sort of competing head-to-head with Anthem, that seems a little dicey. Can we be that invested in 2 games that are kind of tackling a similar genre? Obviously very different, at least we would think, very different settings and very different lore, given that Anthem seems to be a super futuristic Titanfall meets Destiny fusion, whereas The Division is far more grounded in reality and a lot closer to modern times and modern issues. Will they go back and do a Blackout again? Will they do some more other sort of apocalyptic scenario, or will it be after all of that and now the world is rebuilding? How do they make that original and exciting in 2018 or 2019 when we've seen a whole lot of oh god, the city is dark scenarios? Kind of that's played out, I feel. So what can they do story-wise to entice us? What can they do loot and weapon and progression-wise to be more engaging? And then what fresh ideas can they bring to this genre, and how can they keep players hooked? I think the Dark Zone is a really strong piece of that, and I hope that they're able to expand upon that in exciting ways and flesh that out so that it becomes just a really exciting multiplayer style component of this greater game. But let me know your take on The Division 2 in the comments down below. If you are pumped and primed for another Tom Clancy gun and loot and grind fest, when do you think it comes out? And what do you think they need to do to really step things up from The Division 1? I'm hopeful. I'm excited. And we'll learn more at E3. Until that time, thanks so much for watching. Fantastic day. Drink so much all. Until next time, we will see you all later.